The Business Bully Podcast is being brought to you by Audible. With over 180,000 audiobooks to download, you can get everything you could ever possibly want to know about any damn thing. Check them out right now, audibletrial.com/bully. Now it's bully time, people. Let's get this show started.
He's been an award-winning media personality and producer. As a speaker, he's empowered over 1 million people from the stage. Now, one of the leading brand experts and business coaches in the U.S. is bringing his unique brand of straight talk to the world of on-demand audio. It's the Business Bully Podcast. Now, here's the business bully himself, David Anderson.
Yeah, buddy. Thank you. I definitely appreciate it. Welcome to the Business Bully Podcast. I am David Anderson. Hope all is well in your world. And of course, before I do anything, the Business Bully Podcast is being brought to you by Audible with over 180,000 different titles to choose from and growing. Audible is where you need to be in order to get your 30-day free trial and a free audiobook download. Go to audibletrial.com/bully. I am excited to be here. I am very happy to be here. Thank you so much for everybody checking in and listening and doing your thing, man. I definitely appreciate you. Today, right, a couple of things I just got to address. I would be remiss if I did not talk about Prince. Prince is that dude, you know, and for people who don't understand Prince's impact in the world, the dude was everything. First of all, he could play like 27 instruments better than the people who have been playing them their entire lives. He's what's called a virtuoso. The man was brilliant. On today's show, I'm going to be talking a little bit about all of the things that Prince did to revolutionize the music industry and the world as a whole. You know, Prince was the quintessential entrepreneur, and most people didn't get it. A lot of people laughed at a lot of things that he did. And sometimes, and I'll say this all the time, pioneers get scalped, but settlers prosper. And Prince was a pioneer. The things that Prince was doing was ahead of Steve Jobs. It was ahead of the record industry. And it's because of Prince that we have a lot of these business models that you see the record companies adapting. It's because of Prince that rappers and singers from all genres now have 360 deals, because Prince created ways to get money without having to sacrifice himself for the record label. So I had to take me a drink of water. I was thirsty. And the water that I'm drinking right now has been sourced from Lake Minnetonka after I purified my bodies in the waters of it. Yes, indeed. Thank you very much. Listen, in all seriousness, I'm so excited to celebrate Prince's life and to talk about the business aspect of the man, because sometimes we get caught up in not understanding everything that goes on. And of course, before I do anything, man, I want to make sure that you know that you can always ask questions and things of that nature. So it's very important that I go ahead and answer some questions. So let's go ahead and let's get that situation popping.
Got a question? Need some advice? Email your questions to bullyquestions@gmail.com.
All right. And today's question comes from Victor. Victor says, "Hi, my name is Victor Sanchez. I heard of you first through the Breakfast Club interview. I immediately subscribed to your podcast through my phone. Thank you very much for the subscription. And if you have an iPhone, please go to iTunes and subscribe and leave that 5-star rating for me. No matter what you say in that 5-star rating, I'm going to read it on the air, because I just don't care. You can also use Stitcher, Spreaker, any place that has podcasts. You can pretty much subscribe to the show and share. So subscribe, share, and enjoy this bully goodness. Anyway, anyhow, he goes on to say, I began listening, and the story of Derek Watkins, a.k.a. Farnsworth Bentley, really intrigued me. The way he began to intern for P. Diddy is so inspiring. I just turned 20 years old and got my real estate license. Give it up for that youngin' for getting that real estate license at age 20. Yes, sir. I'm here for all of that. Yes, sir. Good job, brother. And then he says, I'm aiming for the top, and I want to start by interning for the top real estate agents here in Los Angeles. My question is, how do I approach this email? I'm more than positive that they can give me an internship opportunity and they get internship opportunity emails every single day. How do I grab their attention? Thank you for your time. I'm a big fan. Keep it up. Well, thank you so much, first of all, Victor, for emailing me. That means a lot. You can always send the emails to bullyquestions@gmail.com, or you can go right to businessbullyshow.com and just hit the contact tab and leave your email there. I will get back to you, and 9 times out of 10, I'm going to read your email on the air. Victor, here's my advice to you or anybody who's listening, especially you millennials. You need to put that in your letter. My subject line would read millennial real estate agent looking for a broker. And then I would say, dear sir or madam, my name is Victor Sanchez. I have studied what you've done, and then start highlighting some of the big deals that particular broker has done that you're aware of. Let them know that you're a fan. See, you have to stroke people's egos. I'm not a big fan of working for people, but if you're going to do it right. So you want to say, I saw when you did this. I can't believe you closed that. I'm a big fan of your work, and I am trying to make sure that when it's time for me to become a broker, I have everything in place, and I want to follow your model. In order to do that, I'd like to offer my services and do anything I possibly can to learn under you. I'm hungry. I know what I know, and I know what I don't, and I'm willing to learn. So I would love to be able to take you out to lunch to discuss any possibilities of becoming a part of your firm. Sincerely yours, so on and so forth. And leave your name, your email address, your website, and your phone number. And you should have a name, an email address, a website, and a phone number. You should have all of those things. You want to be able to give them some kind of digital resume of what you've been up to. And that should definitely help you secure that position. Never be afraid to go out there and just put yourself in that position to win. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you do. I don't care how many giants you've slayed. All I want from you is to give me a chance to do what I do. If you open the door, I'm going to knock it down. That's how I've always been. When I was 20 years old, I was getting donuts and walking dogs and getting dry cleaning, anything I could to get inside of that radio station. And this was already after I'd had a gig someplace else. But sometimes you have to prove yourself in a new arena. There are people who are in the minor leagues who go up to the majors and they have to prove themselves all over again. So don't be afraid of that. But the fact that you're 20 and you already have your license, all you need now is a broker and the ability to make things happen. And then you also want to highlight the fact that they may be weak in things that millennials are strong in, i.e. social media, i.e. Grabbing people digitally, creating a YouTube presence. YouTube is the second largest search engine on the planet. So you definitely want to make sure you take advantage of those opportunities and never be afraid to, get things started and go out there and please let me know how that works out for you, Victor. I wish you the best of luck, man. I get, emails like that all the time, and I'm always happy about them. Let's see here. I got another email from Terry, and it says, hi, I'm interested in building a website for my business. I watched you on The Breakfast Club. From there, I started watching your videos on YouTube, and you've inspired me in so many different ways. I've been in business for about 5 years now without a website, and it's only because I've been procrastinating, but my business does very well, but I want to take it to the next level, and I wanted to come to the expert. Please let me know what you think my next step should be. Well, you said it yourself. I feel as though it's extremely important, Terry, to go and get a website. Your website is the footprint there. It is your digital business card. It lets people know who you are, what you do, and why they should care about you. And you have to do what is necessary. I don't do things for my comfort. I do things for my audience. And it's because of that I'm able to do well in a lot of arenas, because I go to where the people are. And you can't be afraid of that. Not at all. So I would definitely get a website. I would get something that's simple for you to update. Get a WordPress. Don't do Wix or Weebly, things like that. If you're going to do something that's kind of drag and drop, Squarespace is probably the best one I would recommend. And no, they're not giving me a check, but I'm trying to give you my personal opinion. And to be in business for 5 years now, so you're comfortable. That's why you said, well, I'm doing well without it. Yeah, of course you're doing well without it, but you can be doing phenomenally with it. You need to have something working for you when you can't work. You need to have something working for you while you sleep, making you money while you sleep. There's nothing like waking up and seeing that there's been a deposit put in your account for work you've already done from people getting it or downloading it or some product that you've created. A lot of that can be distributed digitally through your website. So feel free to get on that like yesterday, because that would be absolutely helpful, because I think that's extremely important. Wow, a lot of y'all are really finding me on the Breakfast Club. It's not like, I've just been sitting here, but hey, whatever works. I'm going to read one more. I got time for one more. It says, I'm just see what this says here. I'm trying to get through this here. Hi, David. I found you on the Breakfast Club. My name is Channing, and I see you're very passionate about entrepreneurship and building Black-owned businesses. And I would like to speak with you briefly on business development and sales. All right, that's great. He has a company. It's a small innovation studio specializing in identity creation, branding, design, and web development. He sent me his LinkedIn. I'm not mad at that. Some folks want to work with me, see what I got, see what they got, see what they can glean off. I'm not necessarily upset at that. So yeah, man, I'll be reaching back out to you. So that is pretty much that as far as emails go. Now, aside from talking about Prince, and I'm going to get into Prince in the next half of the show, I want to talk about jankiness. I want to talk about people who have what I call the Renham Spoons mentality. When I was a much younger man, there was a movie starring Halle Berry called BAPS, which stood for Black American Princesses. And in this movie, there were these two guys. One was played by Pierre, and I think the other one was A.J. Johnson. Forgive me if I'm wrong on that. Or A.J. Jamal. And they had this idea for a business. And of course, these were some janky ass, hood rat ass, janky promoter type dudes. And they said that they're going to open up a restaurant. And in the restaurant, they're going to sell soup. And the soup is free, but they rent them spoons. One thing they did have, which I thought was kind of cool. This is kind of a predecessor to Uber. It was a page and cab company, so you can tell this movie is old because nobody has pages anymore. But basically, it was Uber. So it's interesting. Let's see who's on the phone. Somebody's giving me a call right now. Hey, what's up? You're on the air. Who's this?
This is Dominique from Atlanta.
Hey, what's up, Dominique? What's going on, brother?
Nothing much. Want to get in on the action. I saw you had a call out to join the show, so I wanted to be a part of the Business Bullet Show.
Yes, sir. Dominique Huff out there in Atlanta doing his thug thizzle. I was just talking briefly about the Renham Spoons mentality. If you've ever seen that movie Baps, where the guy said, we're going to have a restaurant and the soup is free, but we're going to rent them spoons. This janky fly-by-night idea that hasn't really been fleshed out that, keeps happening. Or someone will say, hey, what do you think of my logo? And then I'll rip their logo to shreds because it's absolute shit. And then they get mad. Like, don't ask for opinions. Like, you can't go out here, half-assed. You know what I mean?
Right. That Renham Spoon stuff sounded like an episode of Martin one time. They tried to go into the business. They had the little harebrained schemes to make money. But I see that all the time with everybody on this whole stuff, to where you want free advice, free this, free that, but you're charging $500 and up for your services, or you're half-assing it, and then you get mad when somebody rips apart your business plan. Like, I've been reading a lot of business plans lately, just looking over stuff for people, and some of these plans are downright atrocious. I don't know whether you're trying to save the world or run a business.
Man, give people an example.
Okay, well, in fact, there's a nonprofit that's devoted to fighting white supremacy.
Okay.
And of course, you know how I feel about that buzzword, but that's another day, another topic. And so the mission statement of this organization is we're going to band together to fight white supremacy in the southern United States. The key to success was, social justice warring, Black Lives Matter connecting, and cooperative economics. So of course, I do when I see cooperative economics. That these people don't believe that or know what it is. So they had this whole thing doing pledge drives 5 times a year of getting Black people to donate $5 to their causes. And their goal is to get 1 million Black people donating $5. That's their plan.
Wait, hold on. They want to get 1 million Black people to donate $5.
Right.
So that if they get 1 million people to donate $5, then they have $5 million, and that's how they're going to fund this?
That's how they're going to fund this fighting white supremacy initiative. But they didn't tell us they didn't explain what white supremacy is all they're talking about is learning how to respect black women and Black Lives Matter. And I'm like, that's not fighting white supremacy. No, this stuff is all over the place. I'm like, this was like a badly written term paper with some Hotep economics tossed in it.
Hotep economics. Yeah, for those of y'all who don't understand what Hotep economics are, that's when these brothers walk around here and they're super conscious and they got their ankhs on their ring, they got an ankh over their left eye like a tattoo, they got kufis on and dashikis and kente cloth up their ass, and they Hotep, and they smell like ass and herbal tea and cheap oil, and they don't really have a clue as to what happens in this business world. Now, I am the most pro-black person I know, but I am pro-black where it counts. I am pro-black with my money, I am pro-black with the way that I raise my family, and I'm pro-black with my actions. I'm not a fan of bullshit business plans that don't go anywhere, but let me see here, how can I put this? This mentality of having just this overarching, we're going to go ahead and just, change the world, and everybody's going to come together and just going to respect black women and the Black Lives Matter, and we're going to go and rally for Hillary Clinton, and Bernie Sanders loves us, and like, what are you talking? Y'all got to stop, right? Like, you want to change the world, right? Go into your community, kick out the drug dealers, tell the hoes to go work in the red light district, raise your children, and absolutely start collecting money in your community by building businesses that benefit your community. If you want to make $5 million, here's how you do it. Open up 5 grocery stores in underprivileged neighborhoods, aka the hood. Do that shit. And grocery stores nowadays are a lot easier to stock because instead of having a cash and carry that's way out in the boondocks, you got BJ's, you've got Sam's Club, you've got Costco, you got all these places where you can go buy shit in bulk and then turn around and sell it for a profit. But see, I don't know what I'm talking about. Or you can find a wholesaler, or you can get stuff sent to you. They got an app now where you can buy stuff wholesale and then sell it for retail prices. I don't understand why y'all don't understand this. It's like y'all love to sit up here and watch. I'm going to say it. I don't care. It's my show. Y'all love to watch World Star. Y'all love to read Media Takeout. You know who Stevie J is fucking, but you don't realize who's fucking you. And 9 times out of 10, it's you. White people set the ball in motion, and not all white people, but the ones who have set up systematic white supremacy for generations have set the ball in motion, and y'all run with it. Run with it. Y'all have no problem in having 15,000 churches getting Pastor Dufunny's wife, a.k.a. the First Lady, a brand new Mercedes-Benz. The pastor's getting a guy. Creflo Dollar had the balls to ask for a jet. And the people who didn't go to his church were pissed, but the people who went to his church was busy defending this man. But they don't know a damn thing about Creflo Dollar. They don't realize that Creflo Dollar studied under Kenneth Copeland because Kenneth Copeland wanted the black dollar. Y'all don't understand business and how business works. You put a black face on a white ministry, and then all of a sudden, you got hustles. So you got all these churches in the hood next to all these liquor stores and crack houses, but ain't nothing popping. They supposed to care so much for the people, but where they at, though?
And do they do this we tried stuff like, well, we got a suit pantry, we got a clothing closet. I said, okay, what storefront church don't have that crap? And the problem is we reward mediocrity. Okay, you collected 20 canned goods, and you want us to thank you for collecting 20 canned goods when your church has 5,000 people that come in for a Sunday service. Mm-hmm. Just like the same thing with people that think, well, black people want chicken wings, cheese steaks, nails, hair, stuff like that. Well, if that's all that you put into the community, and then you want to lecture about why we have diabetes, hypertension, why we're always going across town about nice stuff, is because those of you who are with a business, when I open a business on the business corridor that is up the street at your damn house, that you go there complaining every time you sit the traffic, like, gee, why all the crap running down around here? Somebody do something. So you think because you elect a black politician, i.e. a black Democrat, that everything's all good, but it's so white Republicans' fault, while that corridor by your house looks like a piece of crap. But then you get online, want to get all up in your feelings with your social justice movement, but you ain't doing a damn thing about some of the stuff that you talk about. You talk about supporting black-owned business, but you all were down on the black-owned business app. You talk about supporting black-owned business, but you complain about how high black businesses are. You complain about how much you need help, especially, I need a mentor, and you won't even go to a free shop or a free webinar or even listen to a podcast.
No.
These people who are making these buku dollars that you said you want to make, who charge out the yin-yang for their services, they said, no, what? All you got to do is listen to me at 11 o'clock Pacific Standard Time on my Facebook Live thing. 20, 30 minutes, this woman was talking about all the social media stuff. She's all up in Facebook business. She's up there at the Facebook headquarters, YouTube headquarters. They didn't tell you everything that she just walked out of a meeting that they said, and you still won't listen to her?
No.
I don't know what I'm saying.
Let me tell you, bro. Let me tell you something, man. Black people have what I call, it's not even a field slave or a house Negro mentality. It's Stockholm Syndrome. It really is Stockholm Syndrome. You love the people who are holding you down, both in your community and outside of your community. Let me tell you something. People talk about, oh, well, you don't live in the hood anymore. You damn right I don't. You want to know why? Because I can't get nothing done in the hood. I got to keep looking out my window to see if somebody's going to steal my car. I got to look out and make sure that my kids are safe. I ain't got time for that. I live outside the hood so I can actually do some good in the hood. So sorry for you. Sorry for you. And I don't make any apologies for that. You know, just like I said, I gave a webinar, right, where I'm literally breaking down the types of merchandising you need to have, the types of marketing promotional materials you need to have, because people just love to have swag, but they don't know what to do with it. You know, by swag, I mean T-shirts, bumper stickers, koozies, that kind of dumb stuff. And I break down what makes sense for what different businesses. And there was only a handful of people who took advantage of it. And this webinar by itself, you know, is part of a $500 course, and I gave it away for free. You know, but there are people who just don't want to take advantage of these opportunities when they come up, but then they're mad. There's someone, don't nobody want to help me. And I'm sorry. I want to say this too, because you touched on it, Dominique, but I'm going to take it to the next level. I'm not here to be your mentor. I am not. Because if I'm being a mentor, what that is code for is I don't want to have to pay you for all the knowledge and hard work that you put in to acquire that information that you now use in order to make your money. I want to make sure that you give me everything that you have to give me, but I'm not going to do anything to help you feed your family. I just want to take that for myself for free. That's what's called selfishness, laziness, and gut bucket niggerdom. Sorry.
Oh, you're absolutely right, because this whole thing, people want everything, you know, let me pick your brain. And it was a woman, I forgot her name. She came to the Tri-City Small Business Week here 2 years ago that broke it down. The piece that she wrote 2011 is called No, You Can't Pick My Google It Out. There's a sister that wrote that, and she mentioned, do you know what all it takes for me to build this brain? Of how many workshops I had to go to, how much studying I had to go through, how many trials and errors I had to go through, how much as the years go on, that the clients I had when I first started my business now are now the way I consulted back in 2000 is a whole different way I consult now. So all this evolution I have gone through, if you were to give it to you for free, no, you can't take me out the Arby's and I'll tell you about how to do a high level business strategy. You know, my time is worth more than I run my own Arby's. But these people swear you're so mean and so this, and those y'all with nonprofits, which y'all give them that's Riddle Spoons too. If you're doing a charity event, I don't care if it's a car wash, sock hop, black tie gator, flip flop festival, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. If you don't have your sponsorship packet out within 90 to 120 days before your event, kill yourself.
Pretty much.
Because you can't tell me about this exposure. I got a packet of somebody sitting me right now for all this exposure I'm going to get. Your event is less than 30 days. I just Googled your event. I had yet to see anything about it, and yet I will get all this exposure. But, sweetheart, you haven't even advertised your event yet. So where's all this exposure that I'm getting?
Right.
But it's for the kids. It's for the women. It's for the gays. It's for the trees. It's for the hood rats. It's for the real niggas. It's for all this stuff. But you cannot tell me how I was to get something out of this was a business owner's favorite song. I think a guy who almost did this was this for this nugget. A business owner's favorite song is "What's in It for Me." If you break it down, what's in it for me? I'm not interested.
No.
And that's how you fill a sponsorship packet. And I just gave y'all a free nugget. If your sponsorship packet is about what's in it for you, but all you said, well, we're going to put your logo on the flyer, sir, that's a given. We're going to thank you publicly. That's a given.
Right.
Come at me. You have to make me jump up and down and say, ooh, let me go write you a check right now.
Right.
and I mean, certain things when I see these business groups, I'm not just talking about black-owned businesses. I'm not just talking about the BOB Atlanta groups or the Atlanta Black Business Network. It's so many of these business groups on Facebook, I can literally screenshot some of the foolishness. Because y'all own that's Riddle Spoon's mentality. Mm-hmm. Because you have a business that is really not viable. Okay, what are your peak seasons for the business? Oh, no. Who are your competitors? Oh, no. Well, why are we in this market? You could be in Atlanta, but your business may do better in Montgomery, or your business may do better in Charlotte.
Oh, there you go. Thank you again. No. You got to be in Atlanta because that's where all the black people are, and that's where Phaedra is, and Nene Leakes is there. Nene went to Broadway, and then see what had happened was, if you look at it like that, then, Stevie J and doing Love and Hip Hop, I got to be in Atlanta because that's where everything is popping, because that's where the black peoples are. Like, what? How?
Atlanta's full. We don't need y'all. We don't need no more y'all niggas. We full here. and when y'all get here, your bitches, your mo. Oh my God, it's so racist here. Why is it so segregated here? Bitch, you're in the damn South.
Right. I think that they forget that. It's like somebody told them that they had to take their house in the middle of a daggone tornado and land on a Wicked Witch of the East, and all of a sudden they just follow the Yellow Brick Road down to Atlanta, and all of a sudden they're going to be shaking it at Jazzy T's and eating Gladys Knight's chicken and waffles while watching a show at the Fox Theater, and thinking that everything is just going to be cool because they moved to Atlanta. That don't mean a damn thing. I know people in Atlanta are popping right now. I know there's people in Atlanta who suck right now. I know people who literally will go work at a Wendy's in Buckhead just so that they can have enough money to buy a bag to be seen at a club so that they can hopefully land them somebody who they think is a baller. I'm just telling what I know. Some of y'all need to stop.
Yeah. And some of y'all like to hang out in Buckhead, but you live on the old National Highway. And I ain't talking about the old National of 1993. I can deal with you saying you live on the old National back then. Old National was still popping. This is the old National 2015, 2016, where you got the jump off where it's three old Nationals. There's daytime old National, prime National, and overnight old National. And those three worlds do not collide for nothing.
Not at all. Sunday night, Old National, Frozen Palace parking lot pimping. I used to have a song about Old National, but I ain't gonna talk about my rap career. Meanwhile, in between, Huff, let everybody know where they can find you, man.
Well, y'all can find me at southfolksbusiness.com. That's southfolksbusiness.com, or 10thamendmentmedia.com. or 10thamendmentmedia.com. 10th is spelled out. Those are my two companies that y'all can find me. I am a journalist, community leader, business event producer, and I have media outlets. So we know right now I'm in the middle of taking my own advice because I'm reinventing myself and rebranding myself. So I can take my business to a higher level. 2007, 2008 was very good to us, but we cannot stay in those years anymore. We must go ahead now and be ready to operate our companies like it's 2030 and 2040. So y'all can also hit me up at director at southfolksbusiness.com. That's director at southfolksbusiness.com. And everything is spelled out and spelled normal. I know how black folks put a V and a T and all that stuff in business, but business is spelled normal. And my telephone number is 404-849-5099. That's 404-849-5099. So I just give y'all all the information on how y'all can reach me. And I'm on Facebook by my name, not by that nigga Dominique, by my real name. So you can hit me up there as well too.
That's what it is.
My campaign, Dominic of Apostles, which is a lot of political talk that's conservative and libertarian. So that may scare some of y'all, but I just let y'all see that anyway.
That's what it is, man. I appreciate you, Huff. Thanks for calling in, brother.
All right, no problem.
Take care. Man, let me tell you something. That was real right there. I'm going to take a quick break and I'm going to come right back, man. We're going to make some things happen. I'm going to talk to you about Prince the Businessman and wrap up this conversation about janky businesses. You stay tuned. This is the Business Bully Podcast.
He's one of the leading business coaches and branding experts in the US, generating millions of dollars for brands like Nutrisystem, The Ricky Smiley Morning Show, iHeartMedia, and Les Brown. He's impacted over 1 million people from the stage. Now, best-selling author David Anderson releases his latest book, Pitch, Close, Upsell, Repeat, a practical guide to sales dominance. Learn how to conquer fear of selling, how to get people to buy from you, and more. This book will motivate and inspire you to unleash the sales beast inside of you. Pitch, Close, Upsell, Repeat by David Anderson is available at Barnes & Noble, Amazon.com, or wherever fine books are sold.
Hey, what's up? It is yours truly, Dave Anderson, and I want to talk to you about the good folks over at Audible. Audible allows me to do this program and keep it free for you so that you can enjoy all this bully goodness. And how they do that is by allowing me to give you free stuff. That's right. Free. Audibletrial.com/bully. You can choose from over 180,000 titles. You want to get the Hunger Games, you can get that. You can also get an in-depth analysis of The Power of Broke by Damon John, which is frequently bought alongside of Pitch, Close, Upsell, Repeat. And by the way, Pitch, Close, Upsell, Repeat will be featured in Audible late spring. So get ready for that, man. I'm so excited to be bringing my book exclusively to Audible. So go to audibletrial.com/bully and get your 30-day free trial plus a free audiobook download. audibletrial.com/bully. You can get whatever you need. If you want to learn about business, if you want to learn a different language, there are people who are learning Spanish by downloading audiobooks just about Spanish speaking. There's so much you can do. Open your mind, and it's also a great reference guide if you need to read a book but you don't have time all the time and you want to go back and forth. They have the technology when you do that. If you use a Kindle app, and there's a Kindle app available for Android, any iTunes products, or anything digital. So you can definitely make that happen. Again, audibletrial.com/bully. And you know what it is. We are trying to make it happen and tell them the Business Bully sent you. Yes. Never meant to cause you any sorrow. I never meant to cause you any pain. Hey. No, seriously, y'all. Prince passed away. And there are some things that I need to go over with y'all so that you can understand why I love the Purple Run. Now, I'm going to keep it real. Okay, there are two different types of people in this world. Like there's Elvis people and Beatles people. There are Michael people and there are Prince people. I am a Michael person. I am not going to lie. But you got to respect Prince's gangster, and you also have to respect Prince's business acumen. Okay, so let me just go over a couple of things for you, all right? Before Steve Jobs created iTunes, Prince said, you know what? I'm going to do something that hasn't been done before. I'm going to sell my music completely to the people, directly to the people on the internet. And people laughed at Prince when he said, I'm going to sell my music directly to people on the internet. I'm like, damn, that's smart. And that's what he did. So he created a distribution channel before there was iTunes or any of that. You know, he did it through his New Power Generation situation, and it went really well for him. And keep in mind, Prince's, failures are better than most people's successes. Same thing with Michael Jackson. The other thing that Prince did was he hired a lawyer that was able to help him get control of what he needed to own his masters. And then he went back to Warner Brothers after they had to come with some serious terms. So he went and got all those songs that you love, 1999, I Want to Be a Lover, Purple Rain, all that good stuff that Warner was holding hostage. Because when you make a record, you write a record, the record company will keep it. Prince made it so bad that Prince is the reason you have 360 deals. Prince was so ahead of his time, and Prince was freaky. Now, a lot of stuff that you hear about Prince when it comes to his freakiness is nothing in comparison to like some of these rock lyrics and rap lyrics and R&B songs. Like Prince never told anybody he was going to eat the booty like groceries. But, I knew a girl named Nikki, and I guess you can say she was a sex fiend. In 1984, that was controversial. If you've never heard Darling Nikki, I suggest you go buy it because you ain't going to be able to find that shit on iTunes because Prince, not on iTunes, but on YouTube, because Prince is like, I'm going to control my image, okay? Prince was constantly making bold statements. Prince had no problem asserting who he was. This man was 5'2". He wore heels and ruffles and had better curls than your girl, but he could take your girl. Prince was that thorough. I mean, look at his roster, man. He had Maite, he had Sheena Easton, he had Sheila E. Like, he had Nona Gay. Like, if you were fine, Prince had you. Prince had Carmen Electra. He had everybody. Vanity, Apollonia. Like, I'm sorry. Can we just give it up for Prince's taste of women for just a minute? I mean, I'm sorry. Now, speaking of bold statements, okay, Prince, of course, was responsible for Purple Rain. And much in the same way that they wanted Robert Redford to play Rocky, when Purple Rain was greenlit by Warner Brothers, they wanted John Travolta, yes, that John Travolta, to play the lead. You heard me correctly. John Travolta, Grease, John Travolta, Pulp Fiction, John Travolta was who they wanted to cast in Prince's movie as Prince. Prince was like, no, we will not do that. I will do it. And they shot that movie for $7 million in the winter in Minneapolis, where most of the people in the movie were the band. Lisa and Wendy, Morris Day and the Time being Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, all them kind of folks. So you have a bunch of people who've never acted before, who are all acting. You do know Prince won an Oscar, right? For Best Original Score. And I mean, the movie was a damn musical, so you might as well say he won an Oscar because he was damn sure the best actor, especially when he goes into that scene and he sees the house and his mom just went in the ambulance. And he comes and he goes, "Where are you, motherfucker?" And he spins and he makes that sound when he spins. "Answer me." Oh, I'm sorry, I just had to do it. That is being a boss. Like, nah, ain't nobody gonna play me but me. So you can cancel that. Prince had no problem in wearing several hats. He was a writer. He was an arranger. He played most of the instruments. And then Prince didn't always have to be in the spotlight. There are songs that Prince wrote that y'all didn't know he wrote. Alicia Keys' How Come You Don't Call Me Anymore was originally on the 1999 album, and Prince actually, helped her arrange her version of that cover of that. On top of that, Sinead O'Connor's Nothing Compares to You, the Bangles' Just Another Manic Monday. Like, Prince would write songs for people, and he would make up a name and just put it on it. He still get the check for the royalties as far as the publishing goes, but he didn't always have to let you know it was a Prince situation. Prince gave Tevin Campbell a song, well, two actually, Round and Round for Graffiti Bridge. And Graffiti Bridge is a dope movie. I care not what anybody says. But break it down. I don't want nobody else. He wasted that song on Tevin, but it was a great song. Hate to say it. But here's the ill shit, right? Prince understood the importance of evolution. That's why Prince, would always change. I mean, he had the New Power Generation, and then he Prince of the Revolution. You had all these different, stages of Prince, where Prince would do different things, and he didn't want to be tied down to certain things. And Prince got to a point where he was so collectively ahead of his time that he did things that people couldn't even see what he was doing until it was too late, and he'd already done it. Let me give you a real example. In 2004, I'm living in Nashville, Tennessee. I live downtown in this, this nice deluxe apartment in the sky. And so I found out Prince was coming. I got on the internet. I printed out my tickets. And it said, when you purchase these tickets, you've also purchased a copy of the brand new Musicology album. I'm like, word, I get a concert and a Prince album? Bet. Prince sold 1.74 million copies of Musicology by selling the tickets and including the price of the CD in the ticket. So much so that both Billboard and SoundScan had to rewrite the rules because of Prince. After Prince, nobody else could include their album sales in the cost of the admission to a concert. It was no longer allowed because Prince was that ahead of his time. So the album sold 2 million, 1.7 came from him actually going out and selling out. And how he knew he was going to sell out the stadiums was he was singing all the hits, the ones you wanted to hear. 1999, all that, Let's Go Crazy, Little Red Corvette, all that kind of stuff. Now because he had basically spiritually changed himself into a Jehovah's Witness, and he decided that he wasn't going to sing any of the freaky deaky stuff. He decided that he was going to, keep those songs out. But for the most part, he put on a great show. Then, and I'm only talking about from my viewing of the tour, because I had great seats, and I remember there's two things I remember. Three, actually. He had Maceo Parker. He also had George Clinton. And I also remember, if you've ever heard Take Me With You, there's that part in the song, he's like, to be around you is so right. You're sheer perfection. And the girl says, thank you. So he gives the microphone to a girl and says, you're sheer perfection. And she's like, Prince. He was like, oh my God, she is so whack. And then he keeps singing. Like, Prince did not care. Like, he was just that dude. Prince was so ill, he kicked Kim Kardashian off the stage because she was so starstruck she couldn't even dance. And I don't think Kim Kardashian can dance any damn way. But say what you want, Kim Kardashian got kicked off the stage by Prince. I would have loved to got kicked off the stage by Prince. Y'all can say whatever you want. Did you get kicked off the stage by Prince? Hell no, you didn't get kicked off the stage by Prince. Now, after the show, Prince was like, I'm not done yet. He gave 3 encores, and then went up the street and around the corner to a place that was owned by gospel superstar Michael W. Smith. It was called Rocketown, and he continued to play until about 2 o'clock in the morning at Rocketown for free. Like, Prince was that dude. And to be able to do that and control yourself, to this day, like, you go on YouTube and try and find a Prince clip if you want to, it ain't going to happen. Now, here's the sad thing. Aside from Pepsi, you don't remember seeing Michael Jackson's music in any ads. The second he died, all of a sudden, Michael's music is in all kinds of commercials, all kinds of stuff. Prince has damn near 1,000 songs in that vault. Them records will come out. Y'all thought it was bad. Tupac was still dropping albums, when my oldest was born. And Tupac had been dead 3 years by the time my oldest was born. But Prince will be dropping albums until my grandchildren are my age. And I ain't got no grandchildren yet. Also, watch how many different businesses will try and license out his music, for commercials and things of that nature. You're going to see Prince bobbleheads. You're going to see a Prince video game. You're going to see a whole bunch of unauthorized biographies. You're going to see conspiracy theorists come out the woodwork. You're going to hear people call him a drug addict and this, that, and the third. What basically happened, and I'm going to tell you from what I've been told, Prince had a hip issue, and religiously he did not want to get a hip replacement, so he dealt with the pain with Percocets. So he had that, and then he had the flu. So the flu and the Percocets, just deadly combination. Boom, party over, oops, out of time. No pun intended. But you cannot take away that. So when you talk about being about your business, we don't do enough of that. We don't make enough bold statements. We don't control our narrative. We allow other people to control our narrative, and we don't really get to a point where we can be thorough with what it is that we do. And so I want us to start looking at things differently and seeing how we can revolutionize what's going on and how we can make it happen. And so it's important to get out there and see where you can innovate. I'm going to tell you something else, okay? The same way people said that Prince was crazy, and now that he's dead, they're calling him the genius that he always was. Kanye West, when he dies, you will sit up there and talk about how genius he was. I guarantee you. I don't care if you like Kanye West or not. Think about it. How many people do you know changed the way that you view fashion? What can y'all say about Kanye West? He's arrogant, but I'm sorry. How much more does he have to do to back it up? I'm just saying. On top of that, Kanye West isn't out here telling people anything other than, believe in yourself more than you believe in anybody else. But y'all ridicule that man because he's just a little bit different. Maybe he's on a different wavelength. Y'all don't understand what genius is. Genius is looking at something differently than everybody else. You're automatically weird. And that's what made Prince great. Prince was 5'2", wore heels, and could take your chick. Like, I don't understand how y'all don't see that. Like, the dude was dope on so many levels. And he did not care about anything other than his art. He was truly an artist. And there are not many artists nowadays. He wasn't happy with the the state of pop music. There's a lot of things that he wanted to do that he was not able to do. But I'm going to tell you this, and I'm not being funny when I say this, but I'm being very honest. I want y'all to celebrate my black ass while I'm here. Don't wait until I'm dead. Because, look, I could die tomorrow. I want y'all to celebrate my black ass right the hell now. Because you know what? I don't want to be one of these people that y'all say, oh, well, you know, he did this, that, and the third, and he was bold, and he was this, and he was that. You know, tell me that now. Like, let me live to enjoy it. Because there are plenty of people who have made plenty of money from listening to what I've said and what I do. You know, I want mine now. Like, you ain't got to wait for me. You know, I'm on some Nation of Islam stuff when it comes to that. I want my heaven right here. Don't give me my flowers when I'm dead. I don't want them. You know, I want y'all to have a good time talking shit about me when I'm dead. But in the meantime, in between time, tell people who have impacted your life how much you appreciate them right now, because they could die. You know what I mean? I'm happy that, you know, because for me, you know how they say death comes in three. So my three is, let's see here. Prince died, China died, and before those two died, Doug Banks died. And if you're not familiar with Doug Banks was one of my mentors. He was somebody who took his time and educated me in a way of doing radio. He was the guy who helped me find my sound, you know, and the people who I also consider mentors, like Bobby Holiday, Rick Party. You know Rick Party. If you don't know him, you know his voice. He's out in Miami, but he was the voice of BET at one point. He was also and is also the person who does all those commercials for those Mayweather fights or any of those Pacquiao fights. Any particular big boxing fight that happens, he's that voice. You know, these are people who all studied under Doug Banks. And those people are extremely important in my life, you know, and they taught me how to entertain people and how to be me, the best, most authentic version of me, not carbon copies of them or someone else. You know, I was actually talking to one of my collaborators who saw a webinar that I did, and she says, you know what? I've never seen anybody do what you do the way that you do it. It's like you just don't care. You know, she says, you know, well, I'm all business. You know, I do this, and that, and you're bugging out. You're talking. You're making jokes. You're having fun. That's who I am, and that's okay for me. I'm never going to show up to your board meeting, you know, in a suit and tie. I'm not that dude. I have a Peter Pan complex. Your definition of adulthood and my definition of adulthood mean two different things. You have all these fancy clothes on, but you can't clothes worth shit. Sorry. You know, I will tell you this. I believe in me so much that I guarantee I can outsell anybody you put me up against. Anybody. And if you don't have that level of confidence about yourself, then why are you here? And if you don't really have that level of confidence about yourself, why don't you get better so you do? See, Prince didn't care what you thought about him. He cared that he did his art, and what he did was pleasing to God. People got it, and people didn't. Do you know there's a song that Prince had, and he snuck it in on y'all, and y'all didn't even catch it. Prince was giving y'all gospel music, and y'all wasn't even paying attention. I'm not a woman. I'm not a man. I am something that you'll never understand. I will never beat you. I'll never lie. And if you're evil, I'll forgive you by and by, because I would die for you. You're just a sinner, I am told. Bring you fire when you're cold. Make you happy when you're sad. Make you good when you were bad. I'm not human. I'm a dove. I'm your conscience. I am love. All I really need is to know that you believe. If he ain't talking about Jesus, who he talking about? I'm sorry. Boom. Done. So, in conclusion, be better. Push the envelope. There is not one statue, one award, one thing erected to people who played it safe, erected to people who just kept the same path, who did what everybody else did before them. There's no innovation in that. Innovation is for the crazy. Crazy is a word for people who don't understand genius when it's in front of them because they're too stupid to recognize it. That man was a genius. And that man was not only a businessman, he was a businessman. So God bless Prince. and God bless you, and I hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you so much for listening. I'm going to catch you next time. Join me when my guest will be Rodney Perry, man. We're going to bust it up. We're going to talk about a whole lot of stuff. So definitely check that out, and I definitely appreciate you. And I look forward to talking to you soon, all right? In the meantime, let's take me home, man. Peace.
Follow us on Twitter at MyInnerBrand. Thanks for listening to the Business Bully Podcast. We'll talk to you next time.